The Bible has a lot to say about money, but Jesus is less vocal. What does Jesus have to say about money? But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon so you won't miss our next video. Jesus seldom talks directly about money. Half of these times are parables where the money is used as an analogy. These are the parable of the missing coin in Luke chapter 15, verse 18, the treasure in the field, and the pearl of great price in Matthew chapter 13, verses 44 through 50, and the parable of the talents in Matthew chapter 25, verses 14 through 30. This leaves us with the story of the widow's mite, Jesus' position on taxes, the cleansing of the temple, and the rich man. Jesus looked up and saw some rich people tossing their gifts into the offering box. He also saw a poor widow putting in 2 pennies. And he said, "I tell you that this poor woman has put in more than all the others. Everyone else gave what they didn't need, but she is very poor and gave everything she had." Luke chapter 21, verses 1 through 4. Gospel commentators point out that the widow has 2 coins. She could have chosen to donate only one. Instead, she puts in both. We can view this literally as a calling to donate our money, as the story of the rich man calls us to do. However, in this instance, and in other biblical references to charity, we are called to donate to the poor rather than to the temple. It's more likely that this, too, is a parable in which the Lord tells us to give all that we have, including our time and ability. Jesus went to Jerusalem. There he found people selling cattle, sheep, and doves in the temple. He also saw money changers sitting at their tables. So, he took some rope and made a whip. Then he chased everyone out of the temple, together with their sheep and cattle. He turned over the tables of the money changers and scattered their coins. John chapter 2, verses 13 through 15. As his position on taxes also demonstrates, Jesus driving out the money changers is a lesson that our spiritual lives and our financial lives can be separate. We know from the story of the widow's mite that Jesus advocated for donations to the church. But he reminds us here that you can't buy heaven, and shouldn't try. Some Jews believed that it was sacrilegious to pay taxes to Rome. Here, the Pharisees approached Jesus, asking him whether it is lawful for Jews to pay taxes. They believe his response will either upset Rome or rile up the Jewish zealots. Jesus knew what they were up to, and he said, "Why are you trying to test me? Show me a coin." They brought him a silver coin, and he asked, "Whose picture and name are on it?" "The emperor's," they answered. Then Jesus told them, "Give the emperor what belongs to him, and give God what belongs to God." Mark chapter 12, verses 15 through 17. This story reinforces our analysis of the story of the widow's mite and of the money changers. God isn't interested in our money for its own sake. We should give generously of our time and talents, and be generous with our money to those who need it. But we do live in secular societies, and we are still of use to God if we tend to our civil obligations as well as our spiritual ones. A rich man approaches Jesus and asks him what he must do to inherit eternal life. Jesus tells him, "Go sell everything you own, give the money to the poor, and you will have riches in heaven. Then come with me." Mark chapter 10, verse 21. Then he tells his disciples, "It's hard for rich people to get into God's kingdom." Mark chapter 10, verse 23. Note that Jesus does not say it is impossible for the rich to enter the kingdom of heaven, only that it's difficult. It also seems to be contingent on using that wealth to help those who are less fortunate. Jesus never says that money is evil, or that those who have money are evil. What Jesus really says on the topic of money is that we should use what we can to help others. Is there anything in particular that touched you, or anything else you want to share with others? share it by writing a comment below. And if not already, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next video.